Did this WWE 2K24 patch add anything else aside from my faction content? I don't know. Let's go on ahead and find out. There are a few things that we want to go on ahead and cover here with this video today that was taken care of within this patch. As you guys always know, a big patch is always dropped just before the content the next day. Tomorrow, today, whenever you're watching this video, the WCW DLC pack has dropped, and then we go on ahead and close the book on WWE 2K24. It has been a wild year. Some will say it's a down year. Some will say it's an up year. I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like the game made some advances, but some of the old stuff is still not advancing as much as I would like as a fan and a consumer. But this video is not about that. It's not a review. Let's go on ahead and get into these patch details. So for those CM Punk fans, for all the people that were downloading attires or wanted to download attires and weren't able to because of the details or the knee pads actually that were removed out of the creation suite, they are now back in. So if you were getting any content damaged errors when trying to download a CM Punk attire, that should not be happening anymore. It was fixed in patch 1.24, so that is a good thing. Of course, all of the CM Punk Creative Superstar parts were re-added in this patch as well. So for all those creators, for all those people who just consume the content, this is good news for the community, because I know a lot of people like CM Punk. CM Punk is a fan favorite, so you always want his parts to be working, and it looks now like everything is up and running correctly the way it is supposed to. So I am excited about that. I am excited to hear about that. And just to go on ahead and speak on one of the details that came with the WWE 2K24 DLC was the fact that the Great Muta comes with a secondary attire with black face paint. Now, I do want to get into this and touch on this a little bit, because I'm happy to see that something like this could be done, because I am tired of all the extra character slots, especially when you're in universe mode, bro, and you want to go on ahead and use these characters and use different attires, and then if they have a championship on them, you have to go on ahead and swap them out and then add the title so they can get that attire. Just super glad to see that maybe this is a road that they're looking to get into. We've never consistently seen them do this with models where they add a second attire just like they did with the Great Muta. So they got the black face paint on him. So I do think that it is pretty cool that that was added, and I think that is something that we're going to continue seeing in the future, because I think that 2K has heard, you know, the complaints, the criticism, and this is something really small that could be fixed. And I think, you know, that I have enough hope that they can definitely fix that, because I am tired of 15 John Cenas. I'm tired of 15 Undertakers, you know, and like Roman Reigns this year, he had the tracksuit attire, and, you know, it's hard to use. Like, you can use it, of course, but when the, you know, when Roman Reigns is your champion in universe mode, and then you got to switch him out to the tracksuit, it is a little annoying after a while. So I know it's a minor complaint. For some people, it might sound like I'm just complaining to complain, but I feel like in the end, it should be better. You know what I'm saying? It should be something that is just easier, or you can put it that way, but give us the option to kind of just mesh them all into one, to get rid of all those slots and give us the abilities to enjoy these attires without having to go through extra stuff and change the reigns of our champions in universe mode. Another thing here for my faction, it does look like some more content was added. I don't know the paywall. We don't know any details yet. We don't know if this is going to be in pack, live events, collections. I don't know. It will probably be in packs though, if I had to personally guess. It does look like Macho Man Randy Savage, Mr. Perfect, Lex Luger, Scott Steiner, Hollywood Hogan. Man, it looks like everybody back then was part of the NWO, bro. Crazy stuff. But anyway, they were added to my faction with the NWO attires, which I do think that is pretty cool. And I think that this is something that, you know, if you are, you know, if you follow What's the Status on Twitter, he's already uploaded a bunch of stuff related to these attires. So I wouldn't go out there and spend that money. But if you please, and if you want to go on ahead and spend that money, y'all go on ahead and do that. I'm just giving y'all, you know, the free version, the free way to go on ahead and get these attires. It is pretty dope. The one Persona card that I wanted was Scott Steiner, and they're probably going to go on ahead and re-release him, you know, whenever, Friday, I don't know, and, you know, sell him again. But, you know, it is a business. I can't really blame them, because people are continuing to eat it up. So it is what it is. But it is cool to see the NWO attires of these wrestlers get added, and I think it's something that they, you know, need to continue adding without the paywall. Just my 2 cents. But in this WCW pack, shout out to It's by Banshee. This is somebody who has the DLC early. I'm not sure how, but shout out to them. It does look like they have a unique singlet removal animation for Mr. Perfect, which I think is very, very nice. I think this is something that everybody should be excited about because it's a nice little detail, bro. It personalizes the character at the end of the day, and I do think that this is something that we should all, you know, be happy about. I think that when you make a character feel like themselves, I feel like that's more important than anything else, bro. Like if you have Mr. Perfect, that's dope. Braun Breaker, it seems like it's a generic animation for those who have the singlet, but for Mr. Perfect, they did something a little bit different. It seems like for every character of the DLC, or not every, but for certain characters, they kind of went above and beyond with adding these little details, and I think it's super important to add these things because I think that when it comes down to it, I think that's what the fans look for, and especially details and things like that. So I am excited, you know, to see that. That is something very small, as a minor detail. A lot of people may say, you know, your bar is in the bottom. I mean, no, bro, it's not. I think that, you know, I've criticized this game enough this year, and I got to give them props when it's due. That's something cool, in my opinion. And I think that it should continue getting added. And your goal by the end of this game, and, you know, every year in the franchise, is to personalize the wrestlers even more. Get rid of those fighting stances. Give wrestlers, you know, whatever stance they use. If it's generic, give them generic. If, you know, if they have something a little bit different, give them something a little bit different. I think the goal of these games is, you know, personalize the wrestlers when it comes to the roster, and I do understand that is super hard to do, especially when you have a roster with 200 plus wrestlers every year, but it is nice to see it stand out. Here you guys see the Iron Sheik. This is somebody who was confirmed by Brian Williams that he was still going to be in the game. It did worry me just a little bit that we didn't see him in the trailer. I thought that he was pulled last minute, but Brian Williams went ahead and confirmed, hey guys, he's not going anywhere. He's still in. He has not gotten pulled. The Iron Sheik, you see a picture of him right here in that shiny bald head. I love what they did with the DLC. Mr. Perfect, they completely nailed him. When it comes down to the graphics in this game, they are very good. We've discussed how much better they can be if they do go on ahead and get rid of last gen. But for the meanwhile, I think that they did a great job. They nailed it. And I think that this is something that they need to continue building upon. Mr. Perfect looks great. Lex Luger looks great. You know, the Great Muta looks great. You know, DDP, good. The Iron Sheik is probably the most outstanding one to me personally. I think that that's one that I was super excited about, aside from Mr. Perfect, to see in this game. So the Iron Sheik does look good, and I think they did a wonderful job with getting him in the game, looking well, looking correctly, how he's really supposed to look. So that's just my 2 cents, man. There's a lot of stuff, you know, that might have been added. We don't know about shit. I saw some people complaining about the moves, but thus far, this looks like the most important stuff, and I wanted to go on ahead and make a quick video for you guys so you guys can know the facts of this patch. Nothing big was added, and I completely understand it because at the end of the day, we are in November, fellas, and I don't know if they had any more juice left at this point in the year. So nice to see a DLC come out in November. But that is going to be it. We're going to go on ahead and wrap this video up. Y'all, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We are super close to 10K. And yeah, man, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.